Hey, you guys. So it is Friday. It is another episode of Say It Loud with your girl, Karen L. Oh my God, I missed you all. Last week I didn't do a show because between Friday the 13th, full moon, retrograde, and coronavirus, I was just like, what the fuck is going on? I felt like I was in some kind of zombie apocalypse. I was like, what are we going to talk about? Because there's so much shit going on. How am I going to pare that down? So, so that's that. As far as my last show with Inkana, thank you all for listening so much. That show has, the numbers were crazy. I'm glad you all enjoyed it. It was a pleasure to interview him and be in his space and energy. So shout out for that. And today we just gonna kick it and talk about being bougie on a budget. Yes, bougie on a budget. And I know a lot of people are thinking like, oh, no, she didn't. How are you going to talk about being bougie on a budget? First of all, I'm bougie, so I can talk about being bougie. I can give bougie lessons, okay? That's how bougie I am. I'm so bougie that my own family are like, fuck it, I'm not even going to buy nothing for Karen because she's just going to be bougie about it. I know, y'all. I know. That's why I always get presents for things that I already told people that I like, not anything that surprises me, because it's just like, I'm not fucking with her, she's not gonna wear that. So I am very bougie, but I'm well aware of who I am, and I subscribe to my own bougie bullshit, so I feel therefore I'm allowed to be bougie because I'm buying my own shit, right? And so if I get to buy my own shit, guess what? I get to be bougie. It's not like I'm being bougie and waiting for somebody else to buy me shit. I buy my own shit, so I'm allowed to be bougie. Okay? So you can't get mad at me. See, you can get mad at somebody who's bougie and don't got no money. Because then you could be like, bitch, how you gonna be bougie and you ain't got no money? You don't get to be bougie when you broke. You don't get to do that. But I get to be bougie because I buy my own shit. And so I can buy what I want, so then I get to be bougie. And let me tell you, ladies, let me teach you something. When you're bougie, and I don't know about guys, but I know guys are bougie too, but we'll talk about you guys later. Ladies, when you're bougie and you treat yourself really good with your own bouginess, is bouginess a word? I don't know, but I like it. Anyhow, and you get to be bougie in your own bouginess, then guess what? It teaches other people how to treat you, believe it or not. So I'm bougie, and I know I'm bougie, and I actually went away a couple years ago with someone, and they picked a hotel, and then he was like, oh, I looked at the hotel, I knew you weren't going to stay there. I said, how did you know that? He was like, come on now, like, I already know who you are. I know you're not going to stay there. And I was like, okay, see, you understand my bougie. And so now you know. Right? So being bougie also sets the bar. Now, don't be an asshole. Don't be an arrogant asshole, right? Because that's not cool. Okay, and that's why this episode's called Bougie on a Budget, because there's a difference between bougie and a bitch. No, I'm probably both of those. Okay, I'll find another word. There's just like bougie and like asshole, right? There's a difference between being bougie and being an asshole, right? Some people are bougie and they're just like, oh my God, I can't do this and I can't do that. I'm not like bougie like that. Because I'll get down and sleep in the woods on the ground. You know what I mean? I'll change the baby where I got to change them. I'll walk a dog. I do some shit and get my hands dirty. But I'm also bougie. And I like to treat myself nicely. And I don't really care how other people feel about it because I don't give a but can you be bougie on a budget? Right? And who gets to be bougie? So let's talk about who gets to be bougie and who doesn't get to be bougie. Bitch, if you broke and you ain't got no money and you rolling out with your girlfriends and y'all going to brunch and everybody got money and you don't, bitch, you can't be bougie. You can't. You ain't got no motherfucking money. Okay? If we going on vacation, all of us together, and we all split in the room and you don't got your money and your shit in order, then guess what? Bitch, you can't be bougie. Okay? If your whole entire life you took the train because that's what you could do, and I ain't knocking it. I know all the stops on the D train. I ain't saying nothing is wrong with that. I'm just saying, when you get in somebody else's car, you can't be bougie. You can't. How the fuck you gonna be bougie? You can't be bougie. You can't get in somebody else's shit and mock they shit when you ain't got shit. You can't do that. You humble your motherfucking self. Okay? Nah, because there's a lot of people out here, men and women, they got the nerve to be goddamn bougie, and you don't have shit that puts you in a place where you could be bougie and talk about somebody else's shit. Okay? You can't be like, oh, well, this car got rolled down windows. Bitch, you got a car? No. You better swipe that motherfucking Metro card and calm your ass down. You can't be mad because somebody driving a Hyundai and you don't have one. You can't hate on they shit and be bougie when you don't have that. You can't do that. You can't be bougie when we go out and everybody pull out their debit card to split the bill and you talk about I'll cash app you. You can't do that. You can't do. That's not how bougie works. That's not how that works, babe. And that goes for you too, gentlemen, because it happens with you guys too. Y'all be out here fronting too, fronting for the gram. Okay? You can be bougie on a budget, and that's okay, right? But you can't hate on somebody else and talk about you being bougie when you ain't got shit to be bougie with. You can't do that. There's a lot of people out here talking about they bougie, right? And they wearing a $3,500 Chanel bag, sleeping on an air mattress. That's not bougie, babe. That's stupid. That's what that is. Because you could have took your $3,500 Chanel bag and bought yourself a good bed. Now your back gonna hurt. Unless you want it. I don't know. I'm not judging. I'm just saying. Okay? You can, ladies, be bougie on a budget. Right? And you can also date someone, people, and still have a good time together and still be bougie, but not break somebody's pockets, right? Because there's a lot of women, right? And I'm going to get on you ladies because we trying to level up on this show, right? This is not me breaking you down. And dudes, I'm going to get at y'all too. This is not me breaking y'all down, me just looking at the world from a different place. So there's a lot of women that are like, I'm bougie and I need this and I need this and I need that. And I get y'all because there's certain things we do need as women. However, you asking for a dude that drive a Porsche and sis don't even got a driver's license. Bro, how you asking for something that you not even bringing to the table? How are you asking for something? How are you talking about being bougie when you got nothing to offer? How you doing that? Huh? Like, I'm not dating a guy unless he offering me this and he taking me to Roof Chris. If we go out and this poor man forget his debit card, which he better not, because that's some bitch nigga shit. Listen to that episode. How you, sis, gonna pay the bill so you can walk out there with your head high? How you gonna do that? Right? Y'all, some people be asking for things and be bougie when it's somebody else's money. I'm bougie when it's somebody else's money. But when it's my money, I'm not bougie. The fuck? I'm bougie every goddamn day. I'm just bougie on a budget. You know what I'm saying? I'm bougie every goddamn day. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I drive a Benz. I'm bougie. I also wear Old Navy flip-flops on a budget. You see what I'm saying? You got to balance the pendulum. You know what I mean? So I could do that because I could be bougie. I make the payment. I just don't wear $1,500 shoes. I wear like $1.50 flip-flops. You feel where I'm saying? You could be bougie on a budget. I use diesel gas and I fill the tank. Bougie. I eat a 4 for $4 at Wendy's on a budget. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. I buy snacks at the movie theater. Bougie. I go on Tuesdays when it's half price on a budget. You see what I'm saying? You see how that works? You could be bougie on a budget. You just got to know how to manage your shit. A lot of people don't know how to manage their shit. And then they talk about I'm bougie, but you only bougie with somebody else's shit. You're not bougie with your shit. Because if you had to drop your own money for some of that stuff, you wouldn't have it. That's the real thing. If you really want to talk about it. If it was your own money, ladies, would you invest that kind of money in the shit you asking for? Would you throw up $3,500 for a pair of shoes? Would you? Because that's bougie. What's your budget looking like, sis? What's your budget looking like? Now, if you're in a situation where you making 10, 12 grand a month and you could drop $3,500 on a pair of shoes because somebody else is paying half the rent, then go ahead, sis. What you do for a living? I want to know because I want to get down with that. But if you don't, then you need to really consider, am I bougie really? Or is this somebody else's budget I'm fucking with? You know what I mean? Would I be the same woman with or without this? And can I provide these things for myself? And you need to ask yourself that when you're in relationship with someone, can I provide these things for myself? Am I in this relationship because of what I can get out of it? Or am I in this relationship because it's somebody I enjoy? And that's great too. I'm just saying, can you do both? Where is the value in it for yourself? I'm not even talking about the other person. I'm talking about you men too. Because a lot of y'all are also, now I wouldn't say bougie, but definitely trendy. But then are you making that equate to who you really are and what you're really able to do and accomplish financially? And then how are we making these decisions? Because when you're 19 and 20 and, 22, 25, and you just start making some bread, life seem, I'm balling when, your mom paying the bills. But when you get to a certain age with life and mama ain't paying them bills no more, daddy ain't paying them bills no more, kids gotta eat. Now we gotta start looking like, okay, all right, I see you, life. How are we gonna make these decisions so that we could be in a better situation, right? And how can we have all the things that we want, because it's not impossible, in a way that takes care of everything, where I still feel like a human, where I'm the person I want to be, where I have the things that I want to have, which is not a problem, and then still have the life that I want, being reasonable and comfortable in my budget, within my budget, and within my situation, and where I'm willing to make the sacrifices in my life, in my career, with my money, so that I can have the things that I want. And I think that's another conversation that people need to have. Like, what are those sacrifices going to look like? Where am I going to make them? And if you're in a relationship, and I have an episode coming up, I think it's in 2 weeks, where we're talking about financial management as a couple. And it might be something to tune back in and listen to, because, if you and your partner are not on the same page as far as like how we're going to choose to live and where we're going to choose to make our sacrifices, then that might be an issue in a relationship. And a lot of people don't know this, and maybe they do, but the vast percent of relationships that don't work, or marriages that end in divorce, the first thing is not infidelity like most people think. It's actually due to financial management. And it has a lot to do with our thoughts about how we manage our money and the things that we want and where our value system is. But I don't want to get deep on y'all because it's supposed to be fun and shit. But I do definitely have that episode coming up. I do definitely think there are ways to be bougie on a budget. And I think that we could talk about them in a little while. I'm going to come back. I'm going to take a commercial. We're going to come back in a few minutes. And I'm going to give you some pointers on how to be bougie ladies on a budget. Okay. And you can ask me questions. You can hit me up, send me a voice message. You can go to www.anchorfm.com/sayitloud. If you hit the message tab in the thing, in the hyperlink, you can actually go there and leave me a message, which I would love. If you have some questions for me on how to be bougie on a budget, because I'm bougie on a budget and I could share those with you. But I'm going to come back after this commercial and I'm going to give you some pointers on how to be bougie on a budget. And that's not just for you women, even though I'm a woman, I can mostly speak to women, but definitely for you dudes, like how to be bougie on a budget, like going on a date and how to be bougie on a budget. Because you can definitely do that, dudes. And if the woman do not respect that when you take her out on a date and it's a budget date, then she don't really want to be there with you. But there's a lot of cool things that you could do to be bougie on a budget. And we're going to talk about them when we come back. Hold on. Coming back. How did I bring my dreams alive? Why, with a Anchor podcast, of course. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor does the hard work and distributes your podcast for you so you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can even make money with your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Download the free Anchor app today or go to Anchor FM to get started. All right, so really quickly, because I know y'all got a lot of shit to do, I just want to plant the seeds and then y'all go ahead and make them grow. So what are some ways that you could be bougie on a budget? First of all, ladies, let me tell you something. Be very proud of who you are. Be very proud of your body. Be very, very proud of your image. Every woman is beautiful. It's not true, but I'm going to just tell y'all too. I can't lie. But you're a beautiful person inside and out. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. We're not all gonna be supermodels. We're not all gonna be super sexy. We're not all gonna be super this. But whatever you are, embody that. Okay. With that said, dudes don't care what you wear. Okay. They don't care. They don't care. Like, a dope dress is a dope dress. Okay. If you got a pretty face and you confident and you strut your stuff in that dress, they don't fucking care what the label says on your dress. Okay. They don't care if it's Versace. They don't care if it's Balenciaga. They don't care if it's Chanel. They don't. All right. A bad bitch has nothing to do with what she's wearing. It's how she's wearing. Okay. So with that said, ladies, you could go ahead and go to the $20 dress shop. Yes, you can. You can go to Fashion Nova. You can go to Joyce Leslie. You can go to whatever them bullshit $20 whole fuck me dress stores are. That's what I said. Get yourself a fuck me dress and some bang bang shoes. Yep, that's what I said. Bang bang shoes. And for $40, that same $40 that you took from your baby daddy, you will have a whole outfit. Okay? Do not feel bad about it. Do not feel I'm not wearing designer. Do not feel like I'm not wearing labels. The man that taking off that dress don't give a fuck about the label. He don't. He gonna throw that shit on the floor, actually. So go ahead, spend $9.99 for that spandex dress. And like I said, lady, it don't matter what size you is. Okay? It don't matter what size you is. There is somebody for everybody. There's some guys that like big girls. There's some guys that like skinny girls. There's some guys that like big ass. There's some guys that like big titties. There's some guys that like little titties. There's some guys that like long hair. There's some guys that like bald head. It don't really motherfucking matter. Let me tell you. Because women be obsessing over shit like that, right? We on social media. We on the internet. And we be thinking like, nah, I ain't got this like this woman. I ain't got this like that. No, I'm going to have the guys on the show and I'm going to talk to y'all about that. They don't care about those things. Don't really care. Buy a cute spandex dress, right? If you need a faja, put the faja on. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Hip belly might be big too. Don't feel bad about it. That's okay. Y'all figure that shit out. When the lights go off, everybody look the same. And when you lay down, that whole little gut area is gone. Don't worry about it, okay? That's number one. So go ahead, like I said, buy your fuck me dress and your bang bang shoes. Because right there, you're bougie on a budget and he gonna love it. Just make sure when you put it on, ladies, it is not about what you wear. It's about how you wear it, right? Stand up, titties out, ass perk. What you gotta do, strut your stuff, all right? Bougie on a budget, all right? Same thing with your bathing suits, ladies. You do not need to wear a $150 bathing suit. You want bougie on a budget, you could go to Marshall's. You sure can, and they got designer labels in there. Okay, just make sure whatever bathing suit you buy, you try it on first. If you know, ladies, when you put on something, if it feel good on your body, you know. Gentlemen, when your lady put on something and she come out the dressing room, if she dancing and strutting her stuff and look at her ass about 3 times, matter of fact, if she just came out, she like it enough to come out. Because if she didn't like that shit, she would have been like, I'm not coming out. You're not going to see me like this. Or she would have came out and been like, no. She's going to put it back on. When she puts on something that she can't seem to want to take off, that is the thing, ladies. That is the thing. Try your bathing suits on. Go to Marshall's. Go to TJ Maxx. Order it online. Try it on. You're going to know when you put something on if it's something for you. You can get a bathing suit for $16, $26. It don't matter. It's how you strut your stuff, right? Okay, bougie on a budget. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about when we go out on a date, right? Because ladies be like, I'll be the first one to tell you I like some Ruth Chris. I do. But there are places, ladies and gentlemen, ladies, you can invite your man. You can invite a dude out to dinner and take him out. Y'all need to go to Chili's, get 2 for $20. Go to Applebee's, 2 for $25. Okay? We can go to places where they got that at Ruth Chris where you could do a $50 meal and it got like, a salad, an entree, Y'all okay? It's okay. Y'all could do Groupon and do a paint night. That shit is actually fun, believe it or not. I've actually done paint nights. If you see my Instagram, I've done a couple of them and I actually have a good time doing that shit. Yeah, so there's definitely ways that you can go on dates, mommies and daddies, and have a good time and get out the house without having to spend a grip. Bougie on a budget. You know what I mean? Think about it. Okay? Pre-gaming. Pre-gaming. You go out to a club. Yes, I don't really club because I don't like screaming at anybody's ear at a club. I just feel like I can't talk to you. I can't enjoy my girls. I can't enjoy the company I'm with when I'm in a club screaming. So will I go out to an event? Absolutely. Would I promote and host an event? Absolutely. Is it a place that I actually want to be every weekend with my peoples? No, I'd rather vibe with them, and I can't really vibe with them in a space like that. That's just me personally. But pre-gaming a bottle in a club is what, and I've been out with, I can't even tell you how many people go out, let's get a bottle, okay? If y'all want to crack about $1,500 tonight, go ahead. I'm not doing that. I don't care what kind of car we drove here. I'm not doing that. Fortunately for me, I'm kind enough, and people are kind enough with me to do that for me and do that with me. But yeah, pregame, right? So you might want to pregame. You might say, you know what, babe, let's buy a bottle before we go out. Let's get a little fade before we go out. I'm gonna still buy drinks when we go out, but I'm not going to need to buy $200 or $300 worth of drinks tonight. And y'all know a drink in a good bar, in a good restaurant, in a good place, whatever. Listen, the bottles in the bar, you could buy Hennessy on the block for what, $45, $55, $65, and you buy that same bottle in a club, and that shit $350. Oh, the hell we not. Bougie on a budget. I like what I drink, but I'm not gonna do 200% markup. I'm not an idiot, right? So you might say, you know what, before we go out, let's pregame a little bit. You know what I mean? So that might be something. Just like when you go to the movies, you carry your big bag. Well, you might have to leave your big bag in the car. I don't know. Bring it with you. But I'm just saying, bougie on a budget. All right. So I've had a lot of questions where people ask me about planning trips. I love to travel. If you see me, if you follow me on Instagram at I am Karen L, I travel quite a bit. I'm always doing things with the kids, always trying to get out. And I've actually had people ask me to start a blog about it. I can't start any more things because I got the show and I have a blog and I have a website, but I'll definitely blog about it on my website. But there's I've had people ask me, like, how'd you take your kids to Disney World? It's so expensive. Or how have you managed to be able to, you're always up and down doing things like that. Planning, mamas. That's for you people in relationships, for you people that are single, for you people that have kids. Plan ahead. So I have a camping trip planned for May that my daughter planned with me. I have my summer vacation already planned in August. So if you plan your vacations out, or you plan the things that you want to do out, and everybody knows I carry a manifestation planner. I'm always planning things. I actually share it with other people. If you plan it out, then you're not waiting to the last minute to come up with $2,000 or $3,000 or $1,500, whatever your budget is. If there's someplace you do want to go and you do want me to help you plan it and kind of point you in directions, you can hit me on the website and I'll definitely do that with you. But there are a lot of resources where people can take their kids away, where you can take trips, where you can look at things. Like, I'm in Disney World with a whole cooler book bag on. I sure did, because every time my kids needed a drink, or every time I took an Uber, matter of fact, when I got to Disney World, the last trip my son and I took, it was just the two of us. And I said, it's just going to be us on this trip. And we stayed in Jumbo House, which was lovely, in Animal Kingdom. And the hotel was bad. Like, it's dope. But it was very costly. Obviously, that hotel's no joke. And yes, the giraffes are really out the window, like outside of our room. And so that was a pleasure to have. But I was like, all right, boom. So we're going to have to cut the budget on the food, right? And how are we going to maneuver that? Let me tell you, mommies and daddies, I took an Uber from Disney World to Target. I sure did. I went to Target. My room had a refrigerator, microwave, toaster, coffee maker, basic things like that. And I was like, okay, well, we're going to pick up some coconuts, and we're going to pick up some bread, and we're going to pick up some fruit. We're going to pick up some donuts and things that non-perishable that we can have here, so that so I wasn't buying every single. So in the morning we would get up and we would like eat cereal, or we would eat whatever, donuts or bagels or whatever we had in the room that we could eat. and we would do that for lunch. And then I told my son, all right, so for dinner, now we can go ahead and splurge and spend our budget there eating at nice restaurants, because during the day we were just, eating little things here or there, go to the pool, come back, make a sandwich, that type of thing. So moms and dads that are listening to me, you can do it. You know what I mean? You just have to plan ahead. The same thing with the hotel, the same thing with the airline tickets. Like, all right, y'all, some of y'all married. So like, mom, you take the hotel, dad, you take the airline tickets. You know what I mean? We're going to take the tickets to the park. You got to just kind of like look at things and see how they work. Some of these amusement parks, if you go there after 4:00, it's half price. But in the middle of the summer, it's open till midnight. Okay, so we was in I think Hershey Park one night till they closed that shit. And I was like, we're gonna stay here and get our money's worth to the end. I mean, on the way home, everybody was sleeping in the car, but they got their money's worth. And then mom, takes a book bag with whatever we need. I take my mama bag out with my sunblock and my band-aids and my this and my that. So yes, bougie on a budget. Like, we're gonna do it and we're gonna have a good time, but we're going to also look for places where we could not be making bad decisions with our money. You know what I mean? Or investing in things where we're not going to see a return on it. Or you're dropping $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 on luxury goods and items. And I like luxury shit, but you have to understand that money is just going to sit in your closet. I personally rather use my money to enjoy and make memories with my kids. Now, I have some nice shit in my closet, but I would rather do that. So you just have to balance what that is to you and how you want to do that with your family. But it's very possible to be bougie on the budget and make decisions that are in the best interest for yourself and your children and your family or your partner or whatever have you. And it's not that hard. It just takes a little bit of planning and it takes a little bit of paying attention. Like, I'm always looking for stuff to do with the kids that is free or doesn't cost a lot of out-of-pocket money. And that's why I'm always up and down. Like, people are like, damn, you always doing stuff. We're at museums and parks and this. But like, certain days the museums are free. Certain days the parks are free. Certain days activities are free. So you just got to, moms and dads, when you have kids, you got to stay on top of that. Also, you people that are dating or in a relationship and want stuff to do, like, it's not always like, yo, let's go out to eat and be fat asses together. It could be like, let's go for a jog. Let's rent bikes. Let's do something, an activity that's going to engage us. That's also not going to talk. It could be like, I don't understand. Like, I'm old school. Like, why y'all can't plan a picnic? I'm dying for somebody to buy me a fucking picnic basket, with the wine glasses and the cheese and the crudité. And like, I would love some shit like that. Like, I don't understand why that's not a thing. You know what I mean? And people are not looking for ways to kind of engage with each other and enjoy each other without always coming out of your pocket. Like, I actually feel, ladies and gentlemen, both men and women, like, if you love someone and that's your partner and you really want a healthy relationship with them, then you're encouraging them to save money. You're encouraging them to pay down their bills. You're encouraging them to like live a better life, or like, yo, babe, let's save for this, or like, yo, babe, let's save for that, or, let me help you do this. Like, that should be how that relationship works. Not one person always giving, another person always draining, whether it be male or female. And that happens a lot. Sometimes it's the dudes draining the chicks. Like, yo, she working and this dude just taking and spending and spending and spending and spending. And vice versa. Sometimes there's a dude working and there's just a woman, I need. And we also need to be looking at it from the point of view, like, we trying to build generational wealth. We trying to take care of our kids, that we want everyone to be well-rounded. Sometimes giving too much don't necessarily mean that that's the best thing. Or sometimes we be forgetting that we need to humble ourselves, right? And I'm the type of person, like, y'all already know, like, I know where I come from. I remember eating school lunch. You know what I mean? I remember my mom taking me to public school to get school lunch. I remember wearing jeans where my mom was like, fuck it, cut it, make some shorts. Like, I remember being in the water in the fire hydrant. Like, so you have to remember sometimes that part of you is actually still good to have. It doesn't need to necessarily always go away because you're in a better situation in life. It actually should make you a better person, because now you're two halves of a whole, and you understand what it is like to be without, and you understand what it is to have the things you want, and then somewhere in the middle you're able to gauge it, and then you get me, bougie, on a budget. So yeah, that's that. So I'm just planting the seed, y'all. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you how to do it. I'm just simply saying that the opportunity is there, right? And you all know what it is you want or don't want. And you can actually say, okay, I'm going to make these decisions for myself, for my partner, whatever. And ladies, let me tell you, by the way, when you go out on a date, and I know y'all don't be wanting to pay for dates, and I understand that, because, you know, somebody else taking you out, you feel like, why I gotta pay for it. But at the same time, men are very, 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 very impressed when a woman turns around and is like, no, I got it. I'll pay for it. I'll help. I don't mind. You know, like that's an impressive thing. And I know a lot of women like, why the fuck I'm gonna do that? He asked me out. But it depends. But if you, that's not a bad thing to do once in a while, to treat somebody else. You know what I mean? Because you can. Just because you can. You know what I mean? So that might not be a bad thing. Or to be like, yo, I planned something. Let's go do this. You know, it's actually impressive to some men. I've actually talked to men about it, and they actually have said to me like, wow, that's different. You know what I mean? Because they're not used to somebody being able to be like, yo, I'll buy you a drink. I don't really see what the big fucking deal is. But maybe to dudes, that's a big deal. Like other women don't do it. I don't know. I don't have a problem with that. If I'm sitting talking to somebody and I'm ordering a drink, I'm gonna order you. It's just like if you eat in my face, I'm gonna offer you something. If you know what I mean, like if I'm eating in somebody's face, like I feel compelled to be like, yo, you want something? You know what I mean? And if the bill comes, I'll pay for it. Because if I couldn't pay for it, I wouldn't even ask you if you wanted it. You know, but so, ladies, you might think of something like that. Gentlemen, you also need to be able to think outside the box, because there's some dudes out here, too, that y'all really bougie on a budget, but y'all be trying to be too bougie, right? And show out so much. And I get it, to be impressive, that now y'all done held yourself to a standard that you can't maintain, right? Ladies, let him be who he is. Because at some point, he gonna hit, you know, if that's not who he is, he's gonna hit a brick wall. Right. And so, gentlemen, you got to be honest and real with who you are and what you can offer in a relationship, and not kind of not think, okay, I like this woman so much that I got to impress her so much that now you sticking your neck out to shit that you simply cannot do. You know, you simply cannot do. And for me, as a woman, I would be impressed by it and I would like it and I would soak it all up. But if I was your sister, I'd be like, what the fuck is you doing? You know? Now you got this woman thinking you drive this kind of car because you rented it when you went out with her. Now you took her to this restaurant. Now you got to think every time I go out to dinner, this is the type of place we going. Like, bro, you done took half your paycheck on a Friday and went out to dinner. What you going to do tomorrow? Eat ramen noodles all motherfucking week. You know, so you guys, while I think it's a beautiful thing to want to impress a woman and kind of show her, you know, what it is that you want to do and type of relationship that she's looking for, yada, 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 yada. You got to also understand you can't be, you know, putting yourself in a situation where, you know, I'm so busy trying to impress somebody that that you're kind of committing to something that you can't do. You know, don't do that. Don't do that to yourself, because now you leading this woman on thinking that she can have what she cannot have. And you know, people are takers. They're not so much givers. So they just gonna take and take and take and take. And then what happened when you can't give no more? Then now you shit out of luck. Right? So I don't know. I don't know where that idea comes from. You know, I understand what courting is. And I don't know where that idea comes from. And it's not my job to say where it comes from or where it doesn't come from. But just definitely be aware of it and how you're being bougie on a budget and how you're helping the next person be a better person and a better version of themselves. For mommies and daddies, how are you planning for your children so that you can give the memories you want to give them and still maintain the lifestyle and also build a culture with them? Because sometimes kids are so spoiled that they don't understand, like, you got to put a little elbow grease in it. You know what I mean? So you got to also understand that while you want to give your kids everything, that it's okay for them to work a little hard and be rewarded for their hard work, right? But it's okay for them to understand it shit don't just come that easy. And I'm not talking about you rich people that'll listen to me, because you rich people, it's not an issue. Your kids don't really fucking understand because y'all rich. I'm talking about us day-to-day people who are like, yo, like I told y'all the other day, my son went and got a pair of sneakers. It was $175. I nearly did. Right? I was like, whoa. But then understanding, like, what is the value of this? What does this look like in your wallet? One time, let me tell you one more thing, and then I'm going to let y'all go. Well, a couple years ago, and ask my kids if I'm lying. A couple years ago, it's school shopping time, right? Y'all all know when school shopping come, I do the kids good. I do the kids school shopping good, and I do the kids birthdays good and Christmas good. Every other time of year, I be, you know, not as good. But I go big at Christmas time. I go big for birthdays, and I go big for school shopping, right? And then one year, I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the bank and I'm going to take the money out in cash that I'm going to give each of the kids. I swear to God, I did this. All right, mommies and daddies, and I'm gonna let you go. I went to the bank and I got each of my kids an envelope. I have 3 kids, y'all know that. And I got each of my kids with an envelope with a couple $100s in it. And I gave them all the money. And then I said, okay, I'm taking you school shopping. But this time, mommy's not doing her debit card. Mommy's not doing her credit card. Y'all gonna hold y'all money each. Like, I'm not holding your money for you. Y'all gonna hold your money each. And you're gonna make the decisions that you need to make for your money. All right? Kid you not. I did this a couple years ago. Asked the kids if I'm lying. And I took them to the mall. And I said, I gave them all a list. I said, these are the things that you need for school. Book bag, sneakers. I buy everything. I buy clothes. I buy pants, shirts. I buy coats sometimes. I buy underwear, socks. Like when my kids go back to school, they get a whole new wardrobe. They get socks. They get underwears, undershirts, bras, panties, like everything you could possibly need to go back to school, right? Every year. And I was like, here is the list of the things that I buy you for school. And then they still get school supplies, pens, pencils, markers, highlights, whatever list the school said. And I gave the kids the money. This was our clothes shopping money, right? The supplies money was separate. The clothes shopping money, I gave it to them. And I said, you guys are going to decide with the money in the envelope what it is that you're going to buy. I kid you not, right? And so my oldest daughter was very like, okay, I'm going to budget my money and these are the things I need to get. And she was like, all right, I'm going to go do my shopping and I'll meet you back. She old enough to do it. All right, go ahead. My second daughter and my son was like, you know what? Let's go to the sneaker store first. I was like, all right, bet. So we went to the sneaker store. We in Foot Locker and I sat down. I kid you not. I sat down and I said, they're like, Mom, you're not going to pick the sneakers? And I was like, no, I'm not going to pick the sneakers. I'll tell you what I like, but I'm not going to pick the sneakers. Right? And the kids started picking up sneakers, and like, I like this and I like that. And I was like, okay. All right. So they trying on sneakers. They like, this is dope, Mom. I like these. I'm gonna cop these. Da, da, da. I said, okay. And then we get to the register and they look at me and I look at them and they look at me and I look at them and they're like, oh, but if I swear to God, this happened. If I buy these, Mom, this is going to be the money I have left. This is not enough to buy, this, and this. This is what you told me to buy today. And I was like, oh, well, that's a decision that you're going to have to make, right? If you buy this pairs of sneakers, how many pairs of sneakers out of your money, and this is what you're going to be left with, right? And if this is what you're going to be left with, are you going to be able to get the rest of the things on your list? Because I'm not giving you no more money. And they put the sneakers back. They put some of the sneakers back. I was like, well, maybe I'll come back later and get the sneakers and see what's left after that. And I felt like it was a good lesson for them, right? Because what happens with our kids, moms and dads, is that they start thinking like, yo, Mom, just use your debit card. Like my kids be, Mom, just use your debit card. Mom, just use your credit card. Mom, just use debit card. Mom, just use your credit card. Mom, just like, there's just unlimited money at the end of that card. And when they had the cash in their hand and they had to make decisions now based on the money they had in their hand, their decisions changed. And I was like, see the difference? If that money was just on my card and I was just swiping it, they wouldn't be able to make that connection. But because it was their money in their hand, in their cash in their hand, and they could actually look and feel what it looked like and where is it going and how fast that money was leaving and what they needed to get and what the responsibilities were, then they were able to make decisions. We ended up, long story short, walking out the sneaker store. We did get sneakers eventually, but we ended up walking out the sneaker store, picking up a couple other items, going back to the sneaker store and really realizing like, oh, snap, like that money went fast, Mom. And I still didn't get all the things. And I was trying to teach my kids a lesson like, yo, this is how it be for mommy. You know what I mean? This is how it be for mommy. And this is the same money I would have gave y'all, but y'all wouldn't have seen it that way if I was just swiping my card. It would be like, oh, thank you, Mom, buy sneakers. Let's go somewhere, swipe your card, Mom, thank you. You wouldn't have been looking at it like that, right? So for moms and dads, bougie on a budget, you could still be bougie, but we still got to remember what the budget is and remember where we came from and sometimes humble ourselves, not because we don't have it, but because we need to learn what it feels like or learn the appreciation or learn the value. And so I hope you could take something from this. And I've planted a seed and you could be like, you know what, bet and I actually still do this at Christmas time. I actually still give my kids money and I tell them, I give them cash and I actually tell them that they need to buy gifts for each other and they cannot buy anything for themselves. And every Christmas, that's what they do. They actually go out and buy each other gifts, and they're not allowed to spend any of the money on themselves, and they have to use up all of the money and make sure that they get everybody something, because it matters and everybody wants to feel loved and appreciated. So there are definitely things that you could do to be bougie on a budget. And I hope I planted a seed. I said that. I hope that y'all will think about it, and that you walk away feeling like, I bet these are some of the things that I'm going to do, or I'm going to plan for my loved one, for my partner, for my kids, for myself. I'm going to plan a trip. Definitely get on that if that's something you want to do. The flights right now, because of Corona, are very low. So plan out. It's gonna pass. It's not gonna stay forever. So plan out. So you could do that if you want to take the kids somewhere. If you got questions about like how I manage these trips, or things that I'm doing with the kids and the family, or resources and stuff like that, definitely go to the website www.sayitloud.com. Hit me up. There's a Say It To Me tab. You can talk to me. If you just want to do advertisement or sponsorship with Say It Loud, you can definitely hit me up and link me for that. I'm doing voiceover, acting, writing jobs, so definitely go to the website, check it out. So do that. Let me know how it goes. Send me the message. Show me pictures. Tag me in your Instagram pictures when you do the dates on the budget. I want to see it. Tag me on those trips. I want to see it. You know what I mean? Don't tag me on the babies. Don't want those. You know what I mean? Ain't my fault. But definitely let me know what you're doing to motivate yourself and working on that relationship with your partner or with your kids. I want to see. All right. 1.